Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bald and Bonkers Show. Join your hosts Christopher Mole and Dakota Franson as they take you on a wild ride through the world of the supernatural, with a humorous twist that'll have you laughing and shaking in your boots at the same time. From ghosts to aliens to cryptids, no topic is off limits on this show. And the best part? You don't have to be a believer to join in on the fun. So grab a drink, kick back, and tune in every weekend for new episodes. And if you want even more of the Bald and Bonkers experience, be sure to subscribe to our Patreon page for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Let's get weird. Oh, and for the whiners out there, viewer discretion is advised. There you go, you entitled pricks.
Well, sorry, he's laughing because the entitled pricks bit of the intro always gets him. But, holy crap. Things have been getting weird.
They certainly have. I've put too many of these sweeties in my mouth all at once there. I didn't expect that to happen. I like my sweeties, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
but
you
honestly,
like something in your mouth some days.
Yes, well, you know, Dakota, it was you that showed me your pictures yourself. You know, you still get that one in me with the banana. You still get that one in me with it.
I probably have to go digging through Facebook, but yeah, it's somewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of the news so far? I mean, I'm kind of going away, but I'm very cautious. I'm cautious of what's coming out.
Well, we're going to probably have a few people pop in that don't necessarily watch Ghost Squad Scotland because they have more of a preference towards the UFO subject. But why don't you go into what you were dealing with last night, man?
Oh my God, that... Well, Gina in the chat there, she heard the same thing. I was running... At the beginning of the show, everything was going weird. My internet was lagging really bad. I was like, what's going on here? So I reset the router and I connected it to my 5G. And I was getting something ridiculous, like 500 meg per second internet, right? And I says, it can't be my internet. And I was getting super fast internet because while I was resetting it, I checked that, these speed tests. So I checked that and it was way up into 500 meg and it was like 200 meg upload and all that. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, this 5, you know? And I says, my God, it's faster than my house internet. And I thought, right. So I started going with the show and then my show started crackling. Am I coming through to you okay right now?
Right now, we're fine, yes.
It was absolutely fine. But I could hear voices. No in my head, obviously. And here I could hear, like, you know how you pick up mobile phones, the old-fashioned phones for some of you out there, younger generation ones with the wires. And you used to be able to put them on, you used to be able to hear, like, neighbours talking. I could hear that. And I could hear, like, whispering. It was like 1659553, and it was, like, American voices. And I thought they were Irish, but they weren't, they were American. And they were like saying 165, and it was like codes. That's how they were talking to each other. There was a woman's voice and a man's voice, and they were like contacting each other. But I went through the show, and I was getting laggier and laggier and laggier. And then, in Drew's Abandoned Paranormal Vlog, she was hearing the same thing. She could hear like voices and stuff. And then all of a sudden, one of the guests started talking about a UFO experience near the kind of end of the show. And all I heard was the voice going, she started talking 19665. She started talking 1144, like that, about subjects. And I'm like, what? And I could hear this. And I was like, what is going on here? And then it stopped. As soon as I said it, it was like, it just stopped. Then I muted my mic. I could still hear it. And they all muted their mics, and I could still hear it. It was so weird. And there was a man said something. There was a man says they've started talking again. And then the man said again, he says, oh, you're not talking about me. See, the thing is, I don't know if they had an attachment, right? There was spiritual voices in amongst that, right? I will say this, there was something attached to them, right? And it was talking, but there was something else. So there was something else. At the start of the show, I found it strange. There was a few strange sounds. It was odd, right? It was all felt laggy, and I just couldn't explain it. And it was so weird. And see tonight, look at me tonight. I'm connected to my house internet. I'm only getting 100 meg per second tonight, and everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know.
Here's a thing that was going on. It's like we got to talking about it. He was telling me more about it. I had to basically, with all this UFO stuff, I've had a bunch of people start messaging me, asking me what I know about, say, like the incident in Vegas, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
I do want to say, I really hope this is just really bad timing. We were supposed to have a UFO investigator from Bufon joining us. Yes. However, he had to cancel last minute due to a family emergency, which, by all means, yes. For the love of God, you're more than welcome to reschedule. You know, we're not going to bash you because of that. You know, family sucks. You know, especially when they're down.
I just don't know. There's something going on there. The internet's abuzz with all what's happened with that guy coming out for the Pentagon, and obviously what happened in Las Vegas with the UFO and the police officers. I mean, that's actually quite spectacular. Do you see the UFO?
Oh my God. That is a cat. I mean, this is why I say, you know, we have all these people say, you know, Lex Paranormal, just as an example. Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot, motherfucker. Well, who try to say, if UFOs are happening so much, like people are saying, why aren't there more pictures, being that everybody's got a camera on them nowadays? Sometimes it's dumb luck, and quite frankly, that officer had some of the best fucking dumb luck. And I hope that was he goes to respond to the scene. All the news reports, they play the call into 911. You can hear the dispatcher thinking that this is just another crazy person. It's Las Vegas.
Yeah,
you know, no, I can't blame the judgment. But then the officer responds to the scene, and as he responds to the scene, he not only does he see something fly off, his body cam catches it.
The cruiser caught it too. The cruiser caught. See the cruiser camera in the front of the car.
Yeah,
it caught it too, and it's like a green flashlight coming up and then boom, shooting away, which is quite interesting because the boy that was working in his car in the garage, he said he heard this thump. It was like something coming down really hard, going thump. And he went out, him and his father went out, and there was this big, tall thing. There was two of them. See, a lot of people didn't realise this. There was actually two of them standing together. One was standing behind the other one. And they kind of ran off. And then when the boy went out to the police officer, you see this green light appearing in the sky and just shooting off.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why the incident's being taken serious. Even the police are seeing something. One thing I noticed is that fits a description of an incident my mom told me about back in November, where she saw a green flash of light all of a sudden disappear while she was on her way to work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not just that. I mean, look at I've not uploaded the picture, guys, but there was a UFO sighting 3 days ago, and it was traveling with the with the red arrows, 1,000 miles per hour.
Yeah,
it was keeping up with them. In fact, it's actually the red arrows were flying in like formation, and it was sitting with them all the way. Mm-hmm. That's not a drone. Drones can't go that fast. Drones cannot go that fast.
I would love to see a drone that would be able to make those maneuvers.
I just think we need to be careful though. I know that this is coming out quite quick, which I find there's just something not quite right about it. I think, obviously, what you were saying about who the aliens might be, they're more like government extraterrestrials. What can you tell me about the extraterrestrials that we're seeing? So what were they then?
Not government. Well, they are tied to government, yes. And Dot, I believe you can actually validate me on this one. It was in the Telegram, one of the Telegram groups I'm in. For Dr. Michael Sala. Elena obviously was getting a lot of questions, and even she was saying that this does not sound like something she's familiar with. She's familiar with taller grays. You know, there's a lot of races out there that have bigger eyes than typical humans here on Earth, but the big mouth kind of threw her off, so she went to ask her contacts. I did the same thing. Roughly around the same time, we both started hitting the airwaves. My thought process is like, if it is a legitimate being, it would have to be some sort of hybrid. Elena stated that these beings were most likely, they were non-biological, was the official statement from her contacts with the Federation, otherwise known as synthetics. That real crews are not risked for these types of motives. And that one of the military bases near Las Vegas, and there's several, is participating in the Global Disclosure Program. And the reason why it does seem like this stuff is moving so fast is because they are trying, our side is basically took over the Blue Beam situation that everybody's freaking out about. They took that over, and they're trying to push it to where the people that wanted to repress this stuff all along, they cannot hold it back. They're trying to push and push. They're going to make it to where, I mean, with that, David Grush, he even said, we're not alone. There's several whistleblowers. I mean, there was a one in Sumatra that responded, that was deployed in the 2009 tsunami that hit the area. It had a black octangle with a pyramid on the top.
What's this? I've not had a chance to look, guys. I'm sorry, because I was away the day doing like ghost stuff and all that with Drew's Abandoned Paranormal in the chat there. What's this? I see that Russell Brand's talking about it. That seemingly they're saying now that they've got bodies. They've got bodies. Was it Roswell? So they have got bodies. For
Roswell's
and South America.
There's been there's been bodies recovered in Brazil. And there were, I should rephrase, there were survivors. The Americans bargained with the Brazilians in order to bring them up here. There was a survivor of Roswell that we all knew about. And like you said, they're even saying something that we talked about here on the show, is that some of these craft that allegedly came down, they were joyriders. They were outside seeing, that's what then something went wrong.
See, I think, right, I don't know if this is, because I'm in the UFO field now, I'm no hanging, but see the Roswell crash. Do you think it was something to do with the nuclear tests?
Actually, that was believed to be what's going on. That's possibly what's going on.
Right. So they were testing nuclear weapons all the way up until the late 80s, right? So, and there's been crashes in South America and stuff like that. I think I was watching something one night, and it was this top UFO guy. I was actually, what's his name? It was Dr. Stephen Greer. He was going on about this, and he was saying that every time we detonated a nuclear bomb, it did something to a different reality where these creatures came from. Every time, it would cause disasters in their reality, their world. So, this is the thing. This is I want to think, oh yes, it's coming. We've finally got disclosure here and that. But I'm very, very cautious in the US government, because I know what they're like, and I know what they can do. Not just the US government, the British government, we're diabolical for it. Get what I mean? Because look at the UFOs that air show 4 days ago now, with the red arrows. That was over a military base. And then you talk about Rangeland Forest. You talk about how they turned off the nuclear missiles and stuff like that. You look at Ukraine now, where all the UFO sightings in Ukraine's off the scale. Get what I mean? I just think, I feel like something really big and amazing is about to happen. But I feel that there's people working against it to try and stop it at the same time. And
they're outnumbered, though.
Maybe they're outnumbered, but I still think they'll try and pull something off. I really do think.
Oh, no, they're going to, because they don't know what else to do. I've said it several times on the show. Tommy Lee Jones said it best in Men in Black. The person is smart. People are dumb.
Yeah. That's quite interesting what Dobie Sock said. isn't it?
Yeah, we have a guest that suddenly had a family emergency when we got talking about this. In fact, as I was saying earlier, but then we kind of got distracted. Chris and I got to talking about what he was going through last night, and I was hearing somebody patch in.
Yeah.
There were certain tones, like at the beginning when you would start logging into dial-up, you hear that, that.
Mm-hmm.
I was hearing something that sounded a lot like that. It's like somebody's tapping in. That's why I put the message out as the intro was playing for people to bust out their headphones, because the link's been compromised.
I can, for the last 4 days non-stop, I've had it's like that weird tendinitis or whatever it's called in your ear, right? And every time I say, listen, I'll let you talk, it goes away. It's weird. It's like, I don't know if it's like, it's a warning thing for me to watch out for. I just feel they are watching. I think they're watching us all. Everybody in that chat, if you are into UFOs and you are into this kind of stuff, you're getting watched. Everybody's getting watched right now because they're scared. I think they're scared because they know that their time is nearly up.
Speaking of which, this is not directly involved with UFOs, but it is all in the same time. Remember what I was saying about Robert Kennedy Jr.?
You said something about that in the video get turned down.
Yeah. He was doing an interview with Mike Tyson, and he got to talking about the assassination of his father and uncle, JFK.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this, and just remember, we're backed up on Rumble. We go out to about 50 plus different programs just because we expect shit to happen. So if all these episodes go to disappear, we've pissed somebody off.
Yeah.
Now, when you think about it, if anybody's going to know about what happened that day, it's going to be immediate family when it comes to the JFK assassination. So he goes to talk about it. He said he fully believes that the CIA had a major role. YouTube took the interview down.
Aye. Exactly.
There's a number. He even talks about it on his Twitter feed. Now, granted, politician, he's trying to run for president, so he may be trying to go with what everybody's talking about, understandably so. But in the same time, he's getting harassed, being called a conspiracy theorist. So I was like, motherfuckers, if anybody's going to know, what happened that day.
There's my brother in the chat. I told you I had been abducted. Sometimes I wish, Drew, they never brought you back. In fact, if he's a blessed extraterrestrials up there, he stays in London. I'll give you the address after. You should go and take him to the planet Zorg or something like that for a couple of months. He'll tell you all about his fascination with tanks and guitars.
Yeah, why do you think they brought him back?
I know. They didn't take him away for long. They only had him away for 20 minutes or something like that, didn't they?
Oh no! But dude, that just reminded me of something. Oh, Ann Bender. Oh, that lady, this wonderful lady. I can only imagine this thing she's picking up on with everything going on in the world right now. But there was a news report I came out. There was another one that's tied to whistleblowers going towards Congress. And I didn't have much time to look into it because I barely saw it just before we started to come on and set up. There was one ship that was spotted, and this group went in. They said the inside was like the size of a football field. Obviously talking about American football for our international audience.
Yes, we play... I don't know why you play football, because yours is a ball and yours is more like a... But it doesn't matter, just keep telling me what you're talking about.
It's more like handed. Yeah, I know. That's a whole nother show, Mr. Aluminium.
Yeah. A story for another time, as Mike would say.
But the outside of the ship was maybe 30 feet in diameter, while the inside was like the size of a football field. It's like, holy fuck, Doctor Who got it right. Yeah, I know. It's like, that was my exact thought. It was like, holy shit. Holy shit, the fucking TARDIS is real.
I need a bag like that. I need like a cupboard. Like a cupboard that I can put all my stuff in and then shut the door.
Right.
Look, obviously they're using a lot of these extra... That's weird. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Mm.
It was like
I
a.
had
It was
something.
like. It was like a pop. It was. Did you not hear that? Did any of you hear that about a minute ago? And it was like a pop. It was like somebody picking up a phone. That's what it was like. It was like a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna people listening to this show. If pay attention to all of our socials. We're gonna report if something happens.
Yeah. Listen,
Now
whoever's
they can't
watching this.
necessarily do anything physically to us because that would only back what we're saying tonight. Yeah. Pop goes the weasel. Yeah, definitely.
Up goes the weasel, and I think it's happening again. I think they're talking. Look, if we disappear and we're horribly disappeared, some you guys in the chat are going to have to take over and look for us. You don't know. That's what might happen. It's like some of these people in real life that have thought they've contacted the extraterrestrials, and then the next day they've just disappeared.
Or all of a sudden the story goes that they go into rehab, and all of a sudden, they just look like a good doppelganger. All of a sudden they're missing birthmarks, and speaking a different.
That's
basically it's
I've got no noises about me. Oh, it's happening again. I can hear talking. I heard something there. I think that obviously they're into this kind of thing.
Well, maybe try putting your headphones on your mic to
I don't
see
know
if anything comes through.
No.
No, it's just like, think about it. Yo, shh. I physically went in and started messing with your settings to say something, Chris.
My screen's out. My screen keeps going out.
Oh, this is getting fun. Yeah, you're fucking bugged, man.
Did you see that?
You're bugged. Yeah, I saw the brightness on you kind of adjust a little bit, like your screen went dark.
Wait, I've turned this up a wee bit. I can turn up my main light a wee bit. Is that better?
No, I'm just saying. That's interesting.
Wait, but why bug me? What do you bug him for? Come on, seriously. You've got trillions of dollars, US government, and you're bugging me. Bug him.
Possibly because I would know how to spot it quicker.
But it's not as if I can get rid of it. It's not as if I can get rid of the bugging. How do you get rid of bugging? Do you get like a spray or something?
Kinda. Here's what you do. You take all of your electronics, your computers, your iPads, your iPhones, everything, your Siri, your Alexa, you put it in the bathtub, you run the water.
But it's like, well, why would they want to bug me? I think it's just this that's bugged. I honestly just think it's this that's bugged, John Morris, the CIA MI6 are watching all of us. I'm sure of it. Yes.
Oh, yeah, because I've invited retired CIA agents to come on the show.
I thought I heard something there again. It's weird because it's every now and again. It's like. So, you ever get the phones in your houses, the ones with the wires, right? Ever worked in an office where there was at the school when I went to school and that they had these phones you could listen, you could pick it up and you could hear what people were saying. Again, it was another phone connected to the other phones. You could listen into their conversation. You have no chance. Chris loves his gadgets.
Chris loves his gadgets. I know. That's why I said that. But here's the thing. It's true.
But
A Faraday cage can actually
I
be
do believe
compromised too if not built appropriately there, Dobby.
But the thing is, why bug me? It's like somebody going to bug Benny Hill or something like that. I mean, it's not as if I'm the architect of the world order that's about to become the new age of humanity. It's not as if I'm in charge. Why don't they date to Elena or date to you? Or
They
maybe
try
you're
with
not.
Elena. They try it with Elena all the time, but something fights back.
But why bug me?
I mean, have you seen her videos of her recent trips to the Middle East? She
I've
had
no
things in the sky flying around her.
Yeah, guys.
In fact, not a lot of people actually know this. There are long distance listening devices that use lasers. Their range is hundreds of miles if done appropriately.
Listen, whoever's listening to me right now and whoever's bugged me right now, I think you should bug Drew's Abandoned Paranormal Vlog Scotland. It's amazing what you would learn from her. She knows a lot more about the UFOs than I do.
They just can't understand her.
Aye, maybe their artificial intelligence will take a meltdown if it's turned into Mrs. Doubtfire for the night. Oh, hello, dearie. Do you know there's an American that I was messaging me wanting me kid on a Mrs. Doubtfire? It's terrible. Oh, hello, dearie.
You got to be careful about responding to some of those messages. You may accidentally respond to someone's fetish.
Now, I date sometimes for on the lives. When I'm doing lives, they'll say it in the chat and they'll say, "Oh, kid on your Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, hello there, dearie. There's a man in a bunker somewhere in the United States, you know. He's listening to every word that I'm saying right now, you know."
God, I would love to. I wish I had my old CB.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say, "I love Mrs. Doubtfire."
Oh yeah, it's a good movie.
What do you want an old CB for? You can buy them off of Amazon for like 30 quid.
No, like my old CB, I had one, but it broke.
Roger, this is the rubber duck. Maybe I'll start Drew off in the chat again. That's my brother Drew. He's right into Convoy, the film.
So, no, I mean, things are actually stepping up so much. I've put out a notice with some of my contacts in local law enforcement to let me know if they spot anything.
So what other strange news is happening? What other things with the UFOs is happening?
We're gonna have to set up we're gonna have to set up a ticker or something to keep track because that's how fast the shit's moving.
I see the Pentagon's basically agreed with that guy that's the whistleblower. Is that agreed?
Yeah, David Grush. Yeah.
I don't think he is a whistleblower. I think he's been told to do this, right? He's been like, look, go and
He's been given authorization.
Yes. Come on, look at Edward Snowden. He leaked some documents and now he's in bloody Russia because he's if he comes back, he'll probably face 5,000 years in jail.
I was about to say, actually, that's a very good point. Think about when Edward Snowden's stuff was coming out. If everything was nowhere near as important as politicians were trying to say, officials were trying to say, why did they spend so much time trying to hunt him down before he got to Russia?
Because they had secrets that he's obviously shared with Putin. And look, Putin's come out multiple times and says that aliens are real.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's multiple times that he said it. And I find it interesting with Obama because he did that. He can either confirm or deny that extraterrestrials have visited there.
Oh, he was just screwing with people.
He was screwing with people. Look, I don't think that the presidents know the full story. I really don't. Especially know that one that you've got to know. He's probably wondering about the Oval Office somewhere looking for his trousers.
Something they bring up on Ancient Aliens a lot, and not a lot of people realize just how true it is. There's levels of, people naturally assume the President of the United States, he's going to have the highest security clearance in the country because that would be his job. But no, the CIA managed to arrange it to where there's at least 20 levels above him.
There's like the president of the United States, is the commander in chief and stuff like that, right? But there's people above him that are so deep, it runs deep. I mean, there's obviously the black, and this is where it does get dodgy. This is when they listen to you. We're always talking about the dark government, the black government that runs the world, right? The secret world government, and you think about what they know. You know what I mean? Drew Mole, what's that? NSA. You've got the NSA too. I mean, the CIA. You've got look. It runs deep. There's even organisations out there that have got more power than the CIA or NSA. They're called, and they've got their own basically military. They've got their own jets. They've got their own helicopters, gunships. They've got their own battleships. So destroyers don't use battleships anyway. They've got their own destroyers. They've got their own nuclear submarines. They've got their own military, right? Their own military. You notice I'm talking about this. I'm starting to break up and so are you.
Oh God, Dots.
It's not disclosure. It must be Grey Pride.
Grey Pride Month. Oh, just as we all know, there's plenty of people who are all for 50 Shades of Greys.
I've never seen it. Have you?
Bits and pieces.
Will you fast forward through it?
Hey, in my defense, it was just awkward knowing that I had the same name as the lead woman in it. But hey,
Yeah. No. Look, well, you don't look like her. That's one thing. You don't share that similarity. I mean, can you imagine if the guy can you imagine if the guy came out of the bedroom with his chains on and stuff and his whips and stuff like that, and you were standing there? He'd be like, "Holy fuck! What the fuck happened there? Where is the woman?" You know, whips it.
I don't know. Some of those. Hey, you're the one confessing about your.
People love that.
You're the one confessing about your dominatrix there fantasies, man. Some of them don't care as long as they still get the paycheck.
You have to learn something about Dakota. He's got all the leather stuff and all that, and the kind of buckles. But anyway, that's the story.
Not this time of year. The leather shrinks.
Oh, how do you get into that? By the way, do you use like talcum powder or something to stop the friction?
No, that's the thing. It's like this time of year is not a good time for it because the leather shrinks when you sweat on it.
Can you imagine that today, Drew? And that's Drew. I'm talking to Drew's Paranormal. Can you imagine that in the heat today, 32?
And wearing nothing but leather? Yeah.
Wow.
I doubt how that would be sexy.
Sounds walking through the graveyard.
And ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, we live up to the name Bald and Bonkers.
Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. But look, let's face it. The UFO disclosure is happening. I would have thought the world would have been in panic. I thought the folk throwing themselves out the windows, people burning themselves in the streets, their religions crashing to the ground. But will that still happen when they all arrive in their spaceships?
Because there's still a bit of deniability. While, yes, when it comes to the, like the body cam footage from the Vegas incident on May 1st, that type of a camera in itself is a lot harder to physically manipulate just because of how the lens works. But there's still deniability. It's like, it's, everybody was making fun of the fact where I said it's Vegas. Trust me, you don't know what goes on in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Why do you think Zach Bagans set up shop?
Exactly. Mike, where are you? Mike's probably hunting them as we speak. Look, I mean, when do you think we'll start seeing like mass spaceships above cities and stuff like that?
We're supposed to start seeing it by next 2 years minimum.
Do you think the Project Bluebeam, we were talking before the show, the Project Bluebeam and stuff, and how you're saying that hijacked it and stuff like that? Do you think they've got to use that so as they don't get shut down? So obviously, if they shoot it, nothing will happen. But let's face it, our technology is amazing. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely Project Bluebeam. Yes, there's a lot of people still trying to push that narrative, but that whole operation's been compromised by our side. We've taken it over. Yes, it's going to still be utilized, but not in the way that it happened before. And if they do try to push that false flag alien invasion, it's going to be nowhere near as severe as they wanted it to be.
See, I've heard it you get it on YouTube, you get it on TikTok loads. They're going to be Project Bluebeam. They're going to fly these artificial spaceships out of London, right? And then stealth bombers are going to fly over and bomb the city, and they're going to blame it on the aliens. You don't think they'll notice the stealth bombers? Are they stupid or something?
Here's the thing. Like we talked about before, this whole narrative of trying to control the population, the first thing, and world government, anybody who studies just basic human psychology know this. If you want to divert people's attention, all you have to do is take away their basic needs for survival.
Aye, if you start
food, water, shelter.
Yeah, exactly. And huddle once all the bombs start going off. Say they set off a few bombs and say, "Oh, it was the aliens for space." They could easily do that, and then they say, "Oh, everybody has to move into cities for safety," and this is where the 15-minute cities come into, because they're all get the population all grouped together. They're getting people out the villages and stuff like that. See, I think this is the agenda all along. I was talking to somebody yesterday about it. Oh, in the future, I wonder what cars will be like in the future. See, in the future, I don't think there will be cars. I think there'll be these drone things that drive you about, and I think everybody will share them because everybody will live in these 15-minute cities where we're watched 24/7 the day. Get what I mean? I honestly think that's what's going to happen.
But here's the thing: if we go to ascend, as people try to say, to the level of a lot of these ET societies, there's going to be no need for that type of surveillance because everybody's going to just be able to tell what's going through someone's head just because of how much they're developed. In fact, with humans, one of the dead giveaways of a human surrounded by aliens is that the human broadcasts their thoughts way too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a film here, and what's happened in the last week is kind of like this movie. You ever seen the film with Mel Gibson, and it's called Signs?
Oh yeah,
minister, and he lives in a farm with his brother, which is was a baseball player or something like that, and a little girl and a little boy. Mm-hmm. And what starts to happen? There's like strange UFOs appear around the world. And then there's a sighting of an alien in a family's garden at a party. This is kind of what's happening now. See, this is quite interesting because it's like the movie's playing out, and then everybody's told to lock up, and everybody locks up and hides, and then the big invasion begins. The invasion begins, and people are kidnapped with these extraterrestrials. But the extraterrestrials are terrified of water for some reason. They won't go near water. Water is like poison to them. Mm-hmm. Do you know feel like this is a wee bit like the Signs film?
In a way, yeah.
Because if you look at the extraterrestrials that visited the people in Las Vegas, right? Why did
they probably would have issues with water?
Why did they pick them? Why did they pick that family to do that to?
If I'm not mistaken, just based on what I've seen, I haven't really had a chance to look into the family yet because I would love to get them on a show one day. At least one of them has military service behind them.
Yes, I've seen that.
At least one of them has military service behind them.
And
so
the boy,
it could very well be a luck of the draw situation. It's like, okay, yeah, he'll do.
But here's the interesting fact: the boy that said he's seen it is got a TikTok now and all that, and YouTube, and he's big. He's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, telling his story.
Yeah,
right. But I just feel that was a total setup. It was a total setup from the start to the finish. And like you said, right, for the military base, that's where the problem with her. I just feel that this is like that film Signs with Mel Gibson. I feel like I don't know Drew's abandoned paranormal about why water hurt the aliens in the film Signs,
I think they were
but
trying to go for a salt on snails kind of approach when it comes to
I
that.
yeah, I just feel like it might be heading in this direction. I'm betting that something's going to happen. See, this week coming or next week, I bet you something comes out this week, something happens next week, and something's going to come out every week. No, I bet you it will. It's
The
going
plan
to get
is
bigger and bigger and bigger. And maybe these sightings are going to happen.
that's the plan. More and more of these sightings are coming forward in our context on the other side, and a lot of people, try to keep an eye on me because they realize apparently Elena and I fly the same galactic circles. That's the plan. They're going to basically try. Basically, the plan is to fill up the water behind the wall dam so high to where the dam bursts, and it is leaking.
So what they're going to do basically is they're going to be a lot more videos out there of wee aliens looking round corners. Oh, look at this CTV camera that catches an alien. Oh, look at this CTV camera. There's another alien, and there'll be all different ones. And eventually, the internet will be abuzz it, and then it'll appear. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen.
Think about it. It's like we're seeing ever since that whistleblower stuff happened. We're seeing a lot more of coverage of everything that news broadcasters were making fun of. The idea that we've reversed engineered alien craft, all of this. They're seeing a lot more coverage of it. It's happening, folks.
See, this is what I worry about, Terry. And I know that the extraterrestrials, the nice ones out there, want us to be better and stuff. But do you think, right, when the public finds out for sure that there is extraterrestrials out there, the financial system will collapse?
That's kind of the plan.
Yeah. It'll collapse because, and some churches will collapse too, let's face it. And I don't think there'll be a need for like vehicles and stuff like that in the future. Petrol ones anywhere, diesel ones, because obviously they'll give us technology. Their technology will surface there, because if they've got the technology for these ships and stuff, there'll be technology there to make a car run 10,000 miles and next to nothing.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this? The technology, the system that we live in, the system that we use and we rely on will crumble within a year.
I've mentioned this on a few shows before, but there's actually a committee when it comes to the industrial complex that finds corporations if their products are too good. That's why it seems like things only last until the warranty. Like, the warranty ends, then the next day, shit breaks. Corporations get fined. But when it comes to these technologies, the main thing, why there's been so much, why the military has been wanting to use them so much ever since they first caught wind of it, especially around the 1940s, is that there was very little need for maintenance.
Yeah.
Very little. Now, granted, it's one of those situations that if something goes wrong, you're fucked, because, the one thing you never want to hear an astronaut say while in outer space is, uh-oh.
What's that dot saying, MC, at the bottom there? The giggle factor is starting to be left behind on MSM. Good sign. What's he saying there?
The giggle... Okay, for, situations like Project Stargate and everything associated with that, there's almost kind of a slang when it came to military operations about how much this is going to be made fun of.
Yeah.
That's the giggle factor.
Right. Here's another thing I want to bring up, and it is kind of about the UFO disclosure, and it is kind of about what's happening in the world right now. Have you seen all the wildfires in Canada?
Yep.
Have you seen the pictures of New York City?
Looking like a Martian surface.
It looks like something out of Blade Runner. It really does look like something out of Blade Runner. What I found quite interesting was that if you look at the satellite views of Canada, see all the fires. And I'm going to tell you something here. This is quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. All the fires in Canada started at the exact same time. Mm-hmm. Right? Do you know that the police in Canada are investigating all the fires for arson?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that they're doing this deliberately so as they can say, "Oh, this is climate change," right? So as they can try and bring in Orwellian laws to say, right, you have to get rid of your car, you have to do this, you have to do that, and get rid of your petrol cars and diesel cars and stuff. So as they can bring this in. So I feel like the aliens are here to try and help us and stuff, but at the same time they're bringing this in to try and to like blind our eyes so as we look in the opposite direction. Did you find that? Because let's face it, everybody's talking about this, isn't it? Oh, look at New York. I mean, Jesus, God Almighty. You can't, it was ridiculous. It looked like New York City had been transported to Mars. I mean, Mars is clearer than that.
Yeah, because
It's never really been like that before, has it?
Unless, Mars, unless there's a major windstorm on the Mars surface, yeah. Okay, here's the thing.
See, that's what it says.
The official statistic when it comes to fires is that at least 49% of them are human-caused.
Yeah.
Majority of that usually suspected to be dumbasses with fireworks or gender reveal parties like the major California one. And yeah, they're going to be inspecting it for arson because, once again, people are dumbasses.
See,
that's why there's always an increase in body count when it comes to Yellowstone this time of year.
People are saying, "Oh, the 4th of July and all that's coming up and stuff like that." And they said there was people setting off fireworks and stuff like that. It's Canada. Come on, it must be some bloody.
The fucking Canadians have firecrackers that are called the American Schoolhouse.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, they have that shit. Yeah, and it looks like a high school building. You set it off, and it's like a bunch of firecrackers are going off on the inside to simulate a school shooting.
Oh my God. See, that's interesting, but it says again, smoke is a good cover. That is a good cover.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder, I mean...
Knowing how thick-headed some New Yorkers are, the whole warnings about wear a mask, everybody's going to be going out with major respiratory issues for the rest of their lives.
That's what I do find interesting. There was one person talking about it in the news in America. I think CBN or something. I can't remember. It was a news American station I was watching. And they were saying, whatever you do not breathe in the fumes. They're highly, highly toxic.
Mm-hmm.
It's burning wood. It's burning plant life. Is there something else going on here that we don't know?
The purest of smokes can still fuck up your lungs.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is there there's been a lot of videos out there with like this weird stuff on the roads when it's been raining, and the roads actually kind of looks all soapy coming down for the rain.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Aye,
I've seen
there's a truck driver. There was a truck driver. He's like, "What is the hell's going on?" For like nearly 60 miles, it was just all like soapy.
Yeah, that's
soapy.
That's acid. Yeah, that's acid rain. It's not necessarily, it's a lot like, a windstorm. People in Florida not going for cover. It's not, to quote Ron White here, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing.
I've also heard this too, right? I don't know if it's true. I've got friends that stay in Los Angeles, right, near Los Angeles, and they were telling me the other day, see, for the last couple of weeks, it's been really cold there, and it shouldn't be.
The weather pattern that's running through the U.S. right now, that's actually causing it to be about roughly 20 degrees cooler than it would normally would be about this time of year. Mind you, it's 75 Fahrenheit over here right now. This time of year usually gets to be about 100s for me, but the weather pattern, it's the way it's hitting Los Angeles is where the major stream is actually going for.
Yeah.
The way it's hitting the U.S. is what's causing all the smokes from the Canada wildfires to concentrate towards the East Coast. So yeah, it is a little odd.
I mean, right, I'm going to say this. I'm in Scotland, right? It's a little odd, the weather that we're having right now. We only usually, I mean, I don't know if Drew will agree with me in the chat, and Drew's abandoned paranormal in the chat there, but the weather's warmer than usual. It's weird.
See? It's Scotland. Everybody freaks out when it's a beautiful day.
I know. What's that? Whoa, 11262. I'm Alberta, Canada. It's been reported as arson is at work 80%. See, that's what I mean. The
Yeah.
police are investigating it. I watched the satellite. There's loads of videos on it, and it shows the fires are starting. Basically at the same time, the same day, or at the same time, within like 10, 15 minutes apart, all starting, boom, boom, all the way down. I mean, who's doing it? Who's doing this? Is it terrorists that's doing this? Is it spies for where, Russia, whatever, that's doing this? Or is it people want to bring in their climate rules so as they can tax the poor and take away your car and stuff like that?
And this is the thing where people really need to be careful before they're just jumping on the hand train, because I've been seeing people like, oh, it's all direct energy weapons. Oh, Canada's just using drones with flamethrowers.
It doesn't take much
first
to light a
off,
fire.
yeah, the drones with flamethrowers, that is a legitimate firefighting tactic.
It's fire breaks.
That's basically, it's supposed to help choke out the fire.
Yeah,
that's a legitimate thing.
It's called fire breaks. Yeah.
We may know that, but the dumbasses who are trying to spread conspiracy theories and completely fudging up everything, halting any progress to figure out.
It's all over TikTok. It's all over TikTok. Oh, look at this. There's a drone dropping fire. And I put multiple comments, which I get banned off the site for saying it's a fire break. They burn the section, the control section, burn it. So when the big fire gets there, it's got no fuel and it just dies. That's what it does.
Yeah. Washington State here in the U.S., they frequently do controlled fires in their forest regions just to kill off any resources that a wildfire could use. And they have some of the lowest wildfire rates in the country. California, take fucking notes.
Yeah. Of course, you got to remember, long ago they used to let the fires burn. Right?
Yeah.
They used to let a section catch fire, then the next year a section catch fire. And what I've noticed it here in Scotland, we've got a lot of like pine trees. And what happens is the pine needles and everything falls and it gets deeper and it gets deeper and it gets deeper. And you're actually meant to let that burn. You're actually meant to take that out and burn it. And that's not happening. And what's happening in California is it just keeps falling and it's getting drier. Drier. All it takes is somebody to bring a cigarette.
Yeah, no, this is a legitimate thing. California residents, they shot down any legislation that would have allowed firemen to be able to do that, to avoid everything. I mean, that one family that had the gender reveal party that has having to pay trillions of dollars in damages, they probably wouldn't have to have that. Yeah, the family, this was a couple of years back where one of the biggest wildfires in California history was traced back to a gender reveal party. The family was charged for everything criminally. They're not going to be able to pay for that for the rest of their lives. You know, if California actually stepped in and did the proper measurements to prevent these fires, that probably would not have happened.
Yeah. It's look. The world is a bureaucracy. It's a madness. It really is. And hopefully our friends from beyond. I mean, let's face it, how many is there? How many different species is there in this galaxy?
At least 100 that interact with this planet alone.
Yeah. I mean, where do you think we'll be in 100 years from now? They say the aliens come down and stuff like that, and say we start getting the technology. Where do you think humanity will be in 100 years? Obviously, I'll be dead. You might still be alive, but you'll be quite old. Where do you think we'll be?
We'll be where we should have been.
Yeah. Can you imagine what society would have been like, guys, in the chat and everybody that's listening to this, if we had the technologies in the 1960s? We would probably be living on Mars. We would probably colonized a few planets by now.
Well, we would have the public would have been officially aware of the colonization efforts that have already been taking place by private corporations. But think about it. We have all of these environmentally friendly technologies that legislation is trying to push for that ain't going to be of any fucking use. Figures. We've had that around since like the 20s. Yeah. The 1920s. It's literally, they say always, you always hear a talk about the lost century. Yeah, we've had these in technologies since the 1920s. We already knew how to make it. But again, people in power shut down anything that actually frickin' worked.
I know. And I'm amazed that our lives managed to last as long tonight without them debilitating us. Either they know that we found out that the Hangman knew and they've maybe left us alone. Maybe they're just sitting listening to us.
Or maybe whoever's the new fucking person that was harassing you and Drew got pulled off.
Yeah, because they were making
That
noises.
seems like a very rookie mistake to have made, though.
Yeah.
Damn FNGs.
You know, it's I'm looking forward to tomorrow night because obviously the discussion will continue tomorrow night about this. And
Yeah, and
I'll see if
hopefully-
I will go into TikTok and I will see if I can find some videos and upload them.
Well, we'll see what happens. I've been reaching out to some well-known UFO people, some people that we've had on the show before, as well as some ones that we haven't. And who knows? This is going to... Fuck, we may have to do more shows just to cover the UFO bit by itself.
Yeah. I think big things are coming, you know. I think big things are coming, and I think we're about to see history being made. You know that? I think we're
not
about
about
to see
to.
history.
Where it's happened.
Well,
it's happening.
It's happened. It's happening. I see there's quite a lot of things now happening in Antarctica too that the people are not talking about. And there's been a lot of strange things going on there too. I was weird. I just heard something again. It was like somebody clicked. Oh my god, that was just like somebody clicked a phone down. That was weird. That. It's just a wee click. It was like, can you hear that? That's all it fit. It was like somebody lifted a phone. See how my internet dropped there a wee bit. And you notice when the sound comes through, my internet just drops a wee bit, as if they're taking a wee bit of the bandwidth up. See, guys, it's absolutely crazy what's going on. It really is. And I wonder what we got to talk about when the aliens eventually come.
I know.
We'll have to have one on for an interview.
Screw that. Everybody's waiting to see what happens with me because what everybody else in the world's going to call an alien invasion, I call a family reunion.
Well, I mean, you're just going to have like 500 grandkids and children run about you screaming, going, "Daddy, Daddy!" like that. And I'll be like,
Then you find out that you go up there and don't have a penis.
I know. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you'd woke up, guys, and you're a different alien and you don't have that? Can you imagine how devastating you would be?
Do you realize how much this man was actually freaking out after the last time we had Elena on?
But can you? But see, here's the point. What happens if you actually see when all your pictures on Facebook and stuff like that? You look like a handsome young extraterrestrial from the planet. I don't know where. But anyway, what happens if you look totally nothing like that? What happens if you ever watched the Orville? What happens if you're just a blob with a big eye? And they don't want to tell you because they want to keep you in your mission. You've got loads of wee blobs running about for you.
No, but that's the thing. I've seen my other body. I know what I look like. I actually look a lot like this, but with much sexier hair.
Yeah, sexier.
That's the big indicator.
Except that his wife is probably opened the pod and she's combing his long wavy hair.
I'm being serious.
Like, hello.
I'm being serious. At the interview I did with Tony Rodriguez, I've been trying to work on putting together a timeline of my events. That's been the main indicator of when I can tell if I'm on Earth or if I've been up in space, whether or not if I've had hair.
I wonder if it's possible to swap pods. Can I, please, Lord, whoever the...
Why is my signal dropping right as I say this?
Why can I not wake up first in the pod and swap pods with Dakota? What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Something with 10 arms and legs and big tentacles coming out and all that.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it could be a lot like that movie Passengers, where if someone wakes from the stasis pods too early, they could actually have some... They could be like Lawrence Fishburne. Let me finish. It'd be like Lawrence Fishburne's character, where everything in his body's just shutting down because he woke up too quickly.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the show tomorrow? More discussion about UFOs and strange creatures from beyond the grave.
We're going to see if we can find some more information about the stuff we've already talked about. Maybe I can tell you about the secret business meeting I have on Monday with someone you've been trying to convince me to get on the show for quite some time.
Who you getting to win? Let me think.
Elton
John.
No.
No, Elton John. I want Elton John. I want to come on there playing his wee piano. What about? Give us a clue. Give everybody in the chat a clue. Come on. What's that? Be careful what you wish for, Chris. What do you mean? If I want to wake up in a pod looking with handsome, rugged, interesting, I've just got to look like, like James Bond or something like that.
Can you film yourself doing it? We'll see if we notice you leave. Are you talking about, I think she's talking about, like, the abduction situations. You gotta remember, I'm seeing this only through StreamYard, and there's, like, a 30-second delay when it comes to the comments.
I have a question for you. Why don't you set up a camera videoing you? And then it'll capture them beaming you up.
Actually, what I want to do, this is actually something I've been thinking about, is find my old security camera and link it up to my capture card so that way I can actually hook something up here. Because I've been able to do the dream, like the sleep talking app, and be able to catch even more voices when I'm being taken. So, it could very well. So here's the thing: is it? Okay, I see what she's getting at.
That's the thing. You don't really that because it's a different dimensional travel. You can sit and look at somebody and you wouldn't notice.
No, there's every now and then, depending. It's again one of those things that relies on dumb luck. You can catch somebody leaving a body if you do it just right.
It's been done. I've seen it in people that
it's been done.
Dying. I've seen it with people that's been dying, and you see like something coming out their mouth, and it floats up, and it goes, and just disappears. It's like a wee orb. But what we need to see when the extraterrestrials they land and they come out. We need to have somebody on this show with us because he said that he doesn't think that they're visiting Earth as Lex for Lex Paranormal. We have to have him on. We have to maybe get him an interview. A big blob or something. Like that kind of thing, Brian. Brian, are you watching? The aliens are coming for you, Brian. They're going to do terrible things to you.
Nando, we're getting the loop for you.
Nando, he's got a fascination with probes. I don't know what that is, by the way.
Yeah, no, he seemed awfully excited when I made that joke.
I know. He talks about it all the time. He gets really excited. He's probably sitting in the mirror with his big shiny thing there, and he's getting the stuff for it, But that's a story for another time, as Mike would say.
Oh, yeah. Drew Goes asked, you could deliberately do something for the camera, could you not? If you have decent enough control over it, yes, but once again, all the best stuff that gets caught is usually by accident when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
So
there you go. So, what you up to the rest of the night? What you up to the rest of the night, Dakota? What strange alien abduction tonight?
Maybe we'll see what happens.
Well, you should do a live stream one night from outside at night, and we'll all watch it. You never know. We get the aliens coming and stuff. It'd be early in the morning for me, but
I have some interesting photos that I haven't shown yet on the show that I caught. I think I may have caught something by accident when I was trying to look for the Northern Lights, but that's another story.
Yeah, it's a story for another time. As mentioned, I've drunk all my zesty beverages tonight after saying all that.
Yeah, I wish I had a drink right now.
I am thirsty as anything after being out with Drew the day in the hills of Scotland and videoing and that. I'm awfully thirsty. I think I've got probably heat stroke. but there's a thunderstorm rolling in. I can hear the rumbles in the distance.
Yeah, the top of your head does look a little red right there, so.
It does look a bit red. I don't know if anybody's looked. If I turn my light off, it's so noticeable. But it's like can you notice it? It's red over my eyebrows, right? It's red over here, and it's a complete white stripe all the way around my head. I'm like one of these, sweetie, what do you call them? A licorice all sort. You know?
Well.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the show tonight. Bald and Bonkers show. I must have that. I like the new background. Skyfall, you know? That's like the James Bond fan, that.
Yeah, and I figured, I style up the background a little bit more,
I see the logos and all that in the bottom corner where we're all streaming to. I mean, remember and tune in tomorrow night, guys, because we might have some photos from Dakota. Hopefully they're decent ones. I mean, as they're no the kind of MS ones or anything like that, SMM ones or that.
I was like, no, for
chains and whips and stuff like that, and shackles.
At least the photos I go to provide are better quality than the pixelated shit you always bring.
What do you expect? Do you want me an alien stunt saying this is my control panel, this is where I work and all that? No?
Yeah, anyway, it was cool cinema auditorium watching the latest Transformer. Yeah. Oh, I heard this last one was pretty good.
Disguise. You're too young to remember the first Transformers, the old one,
Well, the voice for Optimus Prime is still doing it, so.
You don't even care who He-Man is. Kenny doesn't even care who He-Man is. Diabolical.
I know. I've seen him. I used to watch He-Man.
That night I brought him up with you and Elena.
It was Elena! Elena didn't know who it was.
You sure?
Yeah!
With his big sword. He-Man, his big...
Yeah, you were saying Thor Han looked a lot like He-Man. I understood the reference. Elena didn't. I've seen He-Man. I've seen the original cartoon. My mom recorded a bunch of tapes for her birthday present one year. I don't know whatever happened to those. Oh well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic Saturday night, and may the aliens come take you all away tonight.
Yes. If the weather is permitting, be sure to stand outside and watch your backyards because something's coming. But nevertheless, live long and prosper.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning into the Bald and Bonkers Show. If you enjoyed the show and want to show your support, head over to our website at baldandbonkers.net. There, you'll find our merch, services, and more. Thanks for being part of the Bald and Bonkers family, and we'll see you on the next episode. And remember, always keep an open mind and an open heart. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bald and Bonkers Show. Join your hosts Christopher Mole and Dakota Franson as they take you on a wild ride through the world of the supernatural, with a humorous twist that'll have you laughing and shaking in your boots at the same time. From ghosts to aliens to cryptids, no topic is off limits on this show. And the best part? You don't have to be a believer to join in on the fun. So grab a drink, kick back, and tune in every weekend for new episodes. And if you want even more of the Bald and Bonkers experience, be sure to subscribe to our Patreon page for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Let's get weird. Oh, and for the whiners out there, viewer discretion is advised. There you go, you entitled pricks.
Took, ladies and gentlemen, he's been beamed up. They've took him, and they're doing diabolical things to him. So Dakota, where have you been when I've been sitting here waiting on you?
Busy.
Do tell. Share with the group. I was actually worried about him, actually, ladies and gentlemen. It was like, he's usually in before me. And I was actually kind of worried about him, So, what's been happening, Dakota? What's been happening this week? What's new?
What hasn't been happening?
So, ladies in the chat, who have we got in there? We've got Stephanie, nearly called you Stephen again there. I know it's just a kind of joke that we've got. My God, man, you're off in black tonight. I can't even see you. Dobby's Sock. I always thought it was Dobby Socks. Did you change your name, Dobby Sock? Did you know it used to be Dobby Socks? Have you been doing like any weird experiments, Dakota? You've not been doing any like weird experiments or anything like that? That's just weird. You look weird. Doesn't it look weird, guys? Dots, MC, good to see you, my friend. Hey, everyone. Love from Ireland. That's actually quite cool, that what you've got on there. What is that? A colour feature? Because your eyes are like jet black. So, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I was out today. I didn't do any ghost stuff today or anything like that. I've not been very well, actually. I've had a kind of upset stomach. And I think it's because I was out in the sun too much yesterday. Or weird stuff happening through the night. But I think that's what it's done. It's been massive thunderstorms here too. So if I disappear all of a sudden, it's no the CIA or NSA. It might be, I don't know. It might be my internet that drops. Because my cell signal's been dropping in, coming in and out with the thunderstorms. And there's my dog barking out the back. Ladies and gentlemen. The dog
Christopher's starting to realize that he's Jesse's girl.
I know. I can't. I'll play with you after.
Whoa!
Oh God. Well, she likes me when I throw her balls, you know. What's that there? Dobby sock. My son named me Chris. I'm just one of Dobby's pair of socks. There you go. Chris, that's not Dakota. Wait, have you been doing anything you shouldn't have tonight, Dakota? I did tell you something would happen yesterday. Have you been doing any experimentation with the great ones from beyond?
And this is why I know 99% of the shit that comes out of your mouth is utter shit.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's not had his morning coffee, ladies and gentlemen. So, do tell
if
us.
Only I was a coffee drinker.
Did you know a coffee drinker? I thought you drank coffee.
No, not really.
Do you know what are the things that your eye was drinking? You were drinking one the other night. Was it a Slurpee kind of thing? What was that?
But what are you talking about?
You were drinking out something the other night there when you were on the show. It looked like a nice a slushy or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's just a soda.
So, subject tonight. Have you heard any more about what's going on with this supposedly alien encounter in Las Vegas and alien encounters all over the world? What have you been hearing?
It seems like there's already a lot of falsified information trying to go out in order to contaminate it.
Yes, I've noticed that. I have noticed that. That's why I believe the whistleblower 99%, right? There is a part of me that's like, it's obviously a setup, right? That in Las Vegas, the UFO, it look real flying through the sky in that, right? But come on, it is true in day and age what cameras be, and they went out the back and they went and filmed it, and it's a terrible grainy picture. And you go to agree, well, that is a grainy picture. You see where his dad's got something in his hand and he's like threatening it, right? And you can see it stoning down. I actually taken that picture today and I put it through my photo editor thing. I can't make out that much. I can just make out this person's head, or whatever it is, his head, which is standing there. I don't know if there's a wee bit of jiggery pokery. There's a Scottish word for you. A bit of fakery going on here with that. I just feel, yeah.
No. The incident in Las Vegas was a real one.
Yeah.
Maybe not genuine beings,
No,
but nevertheless,
no. But what gets me is, right, how did it take off so quickly without any noise? I know that anti-gravity devices. This is what gets me. I've been sitting thinking about this, and I don't know if the people in the chat all think the same, right? The guy's story, the boy's story, I've watched it on TikTok and YouTube. I've watched the story, right? Him telling what happened. He changes it every time he does like a wee interview with somebody, just slightly, which I find interesting. And he says, "Oh, there was a big bang out the back," and then the next interview there was a bang out the back. Why was there a bang? What was the bang? If this is an anti-gravity device or an anti-gravity thing, surely to God it could have come down to the ground and just stopped. Or is this just like, I know it's no make-believe, but I think it's the US government playing us, using their drones or whatever they're called. You know what I'm told? The alien entities, they're not really alien entities, they're just more, you know what I'm talking about.
they had to draw attention to themselves somehow. The bang was most likely a pop that they may have misconstrued as a drive-by shooting, just simply from the air pressure change from the air around the aircraft just getting hotter all of a sudden.
I just don't know why they couldn't have gave us a better picture of the entities. If it was a better picture of the entities, it would have been more believable. It would have been. It would have been more believable. I just don't see, and this is my honest opinion. Oh, see that dog? Honest opinion, that what happened in Las Vegas. I think it's obviously, as you say, I think it's a total setup. Total setup, the US government with their beings or whatever they've got. What are they anyway? But they're like cybernetic kind of like clones or something like that.
Synthetics, essentially androids.
So basically, they don't have any. Are they controlled somewhere else then?
There is a biological component to them, but they are completely made. The Federation does not risk real crews for those types of interactions.
It's all this that's happened, all this whistleblowing that there's something doesn't add up, and I just don't trust it. I don't. That guy in the Pentagon, he go 100%. He was allowed to do that 100%, right? It's as you say, it's maybe the Federation is making it come out, but I just don't trust it. There's just something. There's a warning. I keep getting warning signs. I don't know why. It's weird. I do trust and neglect the Federation and stuff like that, and I hope it's true and stuff like that. But there is a bit of me that's, I don't know. I just don't trust it. They've got something else planned. I think they have got something else planned.
And you're starting to sound like a bunch of the frauds out there.
Well, I'm not. See, this is the thing, right? I don't know what happened, and I think we need to be very careful here. I know there's frauds out there. There's loads of them out there saying, "Oh, the intergalactic, the aliens." There's got to be a Project Bluebeam. There's got to be a fake alien invasion. There's got to be Look, I've seen it on YouTube. Last night I watched it before I went to bed. I seen it all on TikTok. That's diabolical. It's full of it. There's something just no right. And I do trust in the Federation and stuff like that. And I hope that it is them. But I'm going to sit back until I can figure out what it is. And that's what I'm going to say about it.
Sitting is exactly what caused this planet to be in the position it is today.
But but it's not my fault. The Earth's like this. I mean, the Earth's a total shithole now with the wars that's raging across the continents. Look at America. Let's look at the mighty American people, right? That love their oil and love their gadgets. A throwaway society here. Now let's look at the America, right? It's at one time at one time it was a superpower. I wouldn't say it is the superpower anymore. There's rising superpowers throughout the world. Look at China and stuff like that. Things are going downhill. You just need to look at San Francisco. You just need to look at the homeless in San Francisco and major cities in the United States to see that society is breaking down, right? Los Angeles, right? Look at that district that's cost millions of dollars for a house, and now there's fires burning in the middle of the streets and stuff. America caused a lot of wars. And I'm going to admit this. So did the UK. We are your lapdogs. We are your lapdogs. We jump and we do what America says, right? So I'm not blaming just America here, right? You've got Australia, you've got Britain, you've got France, you've got Germany, you've got all the wee lapdogs of the United States. The all does look at Nord Stream 2, for instance. Look at Nord Stream 2. Now, there's an interesting one. They blamed it on the Russians, right? There was no way the Russians could have got near that. No way whatsoever. It was the British that did that. Did it. Produced a lot. Right? And America has caused nothing but suffering. And so has Britain. I feel like I'm on the bad side. And that's my true honest opinion. I feel like I am on the bad side right now. And well, you just need to look at the pollution of the world. I am not saying that Russia's good or anything like that. Look at Russia. They've done bad things to. Look at China. China is the most polluting country in the world, right? They're burning oil and coal, large quantities here, right? But so is this. This is the thing, right? Everybody thinks that climate change and all that. That's a total different subject, right? Climate change, right? And if you get into that, leave that after now. We had the technology. People disappeared. That was the US government, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that made those people, poof, disappear. What's your thoughts on this, Dakota? What's your thoughts on how the world could have been run differently?
It's no secret that any truly innovative measures were quickly suppressed before being able to release the general public, like I've said before on several times. There's several committees that actually put a stronghold on the infrastructure to make sure products are not made to last. They are made to deteriorate.
Exactly.
So their pockets get lined with more money.
Yeah, let's look at the car industry. Cars could be made better. They could be made more safely. They could be made to last longer, right? I learned an interesting fact the other day there. I know someone that works for Ford, right? He works in a British plant. And I was talking to him, and he was telling me, he says, see like Ford vehicles. And he says they're designed to break after 3 years. They're designed to break down. The car manufacturers make more money, and this is ridiculous, by the way. They make more money selling spare parts than selling cars. Right? Do you know at one time, I can't remember the maker, what was it? I can't remember, it'll come to me, but it was an American car maker. It went out of business a long time ago, but in the 1960s it brought a car out. And this thing could drive 100,000 miles without needing anything. Didn't need wheel bearings, didn't need springs, didn't need anything. It just lasted, right? That company went out of business because the government put it out of business. Because they couldn't sell any parts. And it's like Big Pharma. You're right, Dobie Sock in the chat. It's like Big Pharma, the US companies, Big Pharma, the US companies, where they make pills, right, to help people with like rare types of cancer, children in particular here, right? It costs them to make 10 of these pills, it costs them like 10 cents, right? And then they charge something ridiculous like $100 a pill. American company again. Probably British company because you've obviously got we talk about the vaccines and stuff. If you want to go down that kind of road, if we talk about what's been happening in the world now, need I say more?
When it comes to the hospitals itself, our insurance structure is the reason why. There was a time in history where going to the hospital would cost as much as a couple weeks worth of groceries at most.
Yes.
You pay for the treatment, plus a little bit of profit on top, so the hospital can keep things running. And that's it.
You're going to get the people out there that say, aye, but Chris, you're in the UK, you get free healthcare. Aye, we do get free healthcare. But we're taxed to fuck. We're taxed in everything. The UK, why, look at America, why did you want rid of England? Right? Because of the taxes. That's what caused the revolution and all that, right? It's ridiculous. In the UK, you pay tax and everything. A packet of cigarettes in America, what's a packet of cigarettes in America? 20 cigarettes.
Easy $15 around where I'm at.
Well, I can remember when a packet of cigarettes cost £2. Now you're talking, what would you say, guys, in the chat for the UK? Drew, you smoke. In the chat, what would you say about £16, £17 for a packet of cigarettes? I mean, if you go to Spain, right, you can buy a packet of 20 cigarettes, right? You notice my internet's starting to go wonky. You can buy a packet of 20 cigarettes, right, for €2. 2. The same kind in the United Kingdom is about £18 or £19. £13. Thank you very much. What kind's that? I take it that's the one named after the street in London. We'll see them, the blue packet. I'm not naming them, and they're the cheapest of the cheap, probably. And you can buy them in Spain for like £2 for a can of 20. But over here, they're £13. That's tax. That's tax. And that's what obviously your healthcare pays for, your tax and stuff like that. And it's starting to happen in the United States too. This is the sad thing. Because America used to be all about big Ford befores and big tires. And I used to love watching the American programs about their vehicles and stuff. But slowly and gradually, you're going to start paying the same amount for gas as we do. Can you imagine paying, right? I filled my car up yesterday, so let me think. I put 2 gallons in it, and it came to £23, right? 2 gallons. 3 gallons was about £20, right? 2.5 gallons was £20, right? So that in dollars, what's that? Nearly $30 for 2 gallons of gasoline?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine paying that with your big gas guzzling vehicles that get 12 miles to the gallon?
At least with the big gas guzzling vehicles, Mr. Who likes to make fun that I drive a 90 Cadillac.
Hey,
at least my car, if I'm in a situation where I get into a crash, the other person has more damage.
Oh, exactly. You're like driving a tank. You're like driving a tank down the road. But here's the problem coming. We talk about pollution. We talk about what the humans are doing to this world, right? How many miles to the gallon does your vehicle get, Dakota?
25.
25 miles to the gallon. Is it a catalytic converter or not?
I don't know.
No, it'll no be. When was it made? Was it made before 19 what?
It's a 95.
It's a 95, so it's a 95. It doesn't have a catalytic converter then because it's after 1997, 96, 97. So your car doesn't have a catalytic converter. So let's look at, I know Dakota's in the dark. I don't know. I think he's been possessed by one of the aliens. But anyway, never mind that. Look, people are going to have to change their ways. Look at my car, right? I'll admit, I drive an old person's car. I drive a Riva, right? I get 44 miles to the gallon, right? Which is actually really good because I drive slow and I'm old, I'm stupid. There we go. But humans have to change their way. And it's the same with these electric cars. They're a total waste of money and time. There's more pollution comes from an electric car than Dakota's old petrol car. This is what people don't realize in this world, guys. The woke society think that the magic fairies bring along the electricity, right? The magic fairies bring that. And the batteries in those cars are made by magic fairies. They just materialize. No, they don't. They fucking don't. You have no idea how much it costs to mine lithium. These big machines, these big dumper trucks, right? And I'm talking huge, right? My brother used to drive them. These things get about 4 miles to the gallon, right? Diesel, right? Right. So say that's going back and forth, mine away, right? But then you've got other mines, mining cobalt, mining gold, mining silver, mining copper, mining steel. It's a fucking joke, man. It really is. Humanity needs to change its ways. I'll agree there. It totally has to change its ways. But we can't do it with the technology, which, again, the US government have got stashed away in a bunker somewhere in Nevada.
Nikola Tesla was already trying to upheave everything that is the foundation for how society is nowadays. You're making the comparison that soon America is going to be following a lot of the UK's examples. When you really think about it, historically speaking, the United States is that stubborn teenagers that rebelled and started to realize maybe their parents were onto something. When it comes to the smokers, they goes prove that people are desperate enough to shell out thousands of dollars of cash, even though they know damn well their habit is killing them.
But what I'm saying to you about America is not the great nation it used to be anymore. America will not be a superpower much longer. It will still be a superpower, but it'll not be the way everything's gone now with that idiot that you've got in the power. And believe me, I've got an idiot too. We've got 2 idiots in power. But the way everything's going now, the financial system's got to crash, and it's going to crash, guys. It's going to tumble and it's going to burn. They're printing money and they're printing money. Where are they getting this? This is what doesn't get me. Where are they getting all this money for? Where are they getting it for? Because they're in debt to their eyeballs. The United States in debt to their eyeballs to China, which people don't realise. I mean, there's bits China actually own parts of the United States because they've been selling it back in land. Did you know that?
That's where Chinatown comes from. You also got to consider 5G towers are property of Hawaii.
Right. Yep.
They're Chinese made. Well, then again, but then you can say Dakota. Well, 90% of the world is Chinese made. Yeah, and look what happened when we had to shut down everything coming out of China.
Yeah, exactly.
We're still not recovered from that shit.
We need a clean slate. That's what we need. We need a clean slate. Everything needs to collapse before it's anyway. There's too many people super rich. There's too many of them, and there's people out there who get trillions and trillions of dollars. I mean, is that fair? They've maybe made that through unthingly ways, right? But is it fair to the society, the world? The society can't grow if there's the little people in the bottom and then there's these people at the top that think they can run everything. And I think they're trying to hold on to power. They're trying to hold on to power right now. They're trying to hold on to other trillions. What's the worst thing a billionaire hates the most is waking up one morning and realising he's a millionaire. And it's the same with a millionaire waking up one morning and realising he's not a millionaire anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need a clean slate. I think the financial system all the world, everywhere in the world, just needs to collapse.
It's going
completely. Oh yeah. It needs to be a new kind of system that brings a fair system gets brought. I know this CBDC thing, which is absolutely stupid waste. The new freedoms and 15-minute city shite, right? There needs to be something done. There's too many people out there with too much money. Can you imagine if you take on like Bill Gates? What's Bill Gates worth, Dakota?
Yeah.
Just a rough guess. Doesn't need to be right.
A few billion? I don't know.
A few billion, right? A few billion, right? I mean, $1 billion. Can you imagine what $1 billion would do for, say, building schools in the United States?
Mm-hmm.
Or, say, free hospital care for the homeless in the United States? That's just $1 billion. And then there's people out there with like maybe $5 or $6 trillion. I mean, the extraterrestrials that are looking at this planet now, if I was one of them and I was sitting in my ship, I honestly would be like, fuck's sake, man, this planet's fucked. Unless it changes its ways. Unless it does change its ways. It needs to change its ways. But it'll not happen until the superpowers that control everything fall.
The world's richest family out of Saudi Arabia, their wealth is well in even above the trillions.
What have you gold
altogether? They could, mind you, there's places in Saudi Arabia that have so much fucking money they literally have gold bar vending machines.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And their police, and their police forces are rigged out in the fastest Lamborghinis plated with 24 karat gold.
Yep.
I would love to check it out personally one day, just to see, but nevertheless, they could literally just say, fuck everybody and disappear and not run out of money in their lifetimes.
Interesting thing. It's very actually interesting you brought up the Saudis. See, the Saudis actually brought in slave labour from China and other countries to build their buildings, right? And do you know that there was thousands and thousands of workers died building those buildings? And it was all covered up because money covers everything up. I know somebody that works in Saudi Arabia on one of the new buildings that's getting built. He makes £1,500 a day. And that's the lowest paid job that he's in. He's got people, he knows people that make about $3,000 or $4,000 a day. Can you imagine making $4,000 or $5,000 a day? I mean,
it's called hazard pay.
Yeah, but imagine paying that. Imagine getting paid that. I mean, it's as Keen there Jackson says. The Queen had 200. See what is it? The Queen's crown was worth something ridiculous, like $60 billion or something like that. The Indians actually wanted that diamond back, but they'll not give them back. Britain will not give them it back. That's rightfully India's. Did you know that?
Same for the obelisks.
Yeah,
same for the obelisks. The Egyptians want those back, but the UK's not going to fork that over.
What's India got to do? Invade the UK? They'll no last 10 seconds. Get what I mean? The technology that they've got, America's standing behind them, and this is why with the UFO thing, there is. I think people right. I believe it's happening. I believe disclosure has finally happened, right? But I believe there's other people going to jump onto this bandwagon, right? And I believe they're going to try and play it for themselves. I'm not saying it's the good ones. I'm saying the bad ones are going to do the same. If you think about it, they're going to fight this. They're going to fight the Federation. They're going to fight you to the bitter end because they're going to lose everything. And they will try everything in their power, including starting a nuclear war, including, look at that power station in Ukraine. Did you hear about it in the news tonight, ladies and gentlemen? See that bridge that collapsed? Well, it wasn't it? It was a reservoir that's collapsed. It's lost its cooling. It could go into meltdown in the next 24 hours. Isn't that strange? And here's an even better one. See the dam that blew up? They said it was the Russians. It wasn't the Russians. It was the Ukrainians that blew up their own dam.
Why do you think the UK is actually trying to suppress one of the biggest global distributors of Russian news?
Aye, exactly.
Installing criminal fines for even visiting the website.
I know. It's mad. It really is, guys. And this is, people have to wake up and realise that your government isn't your government anymore. The government that polices everything now is corrupt. It's gone.
But that's
it's
the
all
thing.
Gone. It's
the exact people that think the government should be taking care of them, that all their needs should be met, and the government should do this, the government should do that. Those people are implemented by design.
Do you want to hear something that happens in the UK? And I don't know if Dobie knows about this. In the United Kingdom, the Houses of Parliament voted to allow the World Health Organization powers. So if there's another pandemic, right, they can come in and make everybody go into lockdown, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was House of Lords, right? There was all these lords and MPs that were against it. And they says, oh, we're not voting for that. Because it's a government. You've got the freedom of speech. Well, supposedly freedom of speech, right? And they says, no. We're a sovereign country. This is no happening. This is no happening. Do you know that our glorious government, our glorious new government, do you know what they've went and done? They've enacted a special power that was created by Henry. Was it Henry V? Dobie? King Henry V, something about maybe 16 or 1700 years ago, or something stupid like that. And to basically bypass the people in the Houses of Commons, right? So as the Prime Minister can just sign this thing and bring it in. And all these lords and all these MPs are like, but you can't do that. And they're like, tough. I said, yes, it's a treaty, Chris, supposedly to be in around about 2024. Now, they actually used a law for like the 14th century so as they could bypass the Houses of Commons. This is how corrupt your government is. This is the madness. The madness. And you know there'll be people like that. Oh, Chris, I can't believe you went against the government. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's what people were watching this right now. I know people run about me and they'll be like, they want me burnt at the stake for what I've just said.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because the government would never do that. The government don't lie. The government don't hide UFOs. UFOs don't exist. Need to say more? I mean, let's look at the US government, a really quick one. What did the US government do after World War II, Dakota, to its US soldiers? And they didn't tell them, come on. Well, they tested the nuclear bombs. What did they do to the soldiers?
Made them stand within the blast radius.
Yes.
And watch.
Oh, don't worry. You've got a tin helmet. You'll be fine. They're all dead now with cancer. I think there's one left. I don't know.
You also have to realize the intensity of a nuclear blast makes it to where the human eye can visibly see the skeleton.
Yes, I've heard that. I have heard that. That's really interesting, that. Look, the world's... We need a total... I'll tell you what we need. We need the full system tore down. Every world leader needs to be replaced. Every one of them. Because they're all corrupt. Every one of them. I mean, there's people out there say, aye, we could have one world government. Aye, we could have one world government if the people vote the people in. No, if they just pick a random few trillionaires that have been living in a bunker through all this. Get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Who's to say that organizations such as the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization aren't the first steps aren't the very foundation for the one world government that everybody just allowed to happen?
Yeah. Look, these people that are controlling everything as we speak and making the world as we speak started World War I. And they also started World War II. They say they were behind Hitler. Hitler had a backer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When all this was happening.
Rothschilds.
Hi. The fucking Rothschilds.
Rothschilds, owners of the Federal Reserve. Did you know that the CIA actually had a plan to slowly implement gender-altering chemicals into Hitler's food to slowly make him into a woman over the course of the war?
Oh my God, I did not know that.
I just learned this today. Yes. And yet, so many are trying to push these drugs on children that would be able to see past the BS because they haven't been indoctrinated by their parents. But when you really think about it, unfortunately, and again, this actually traces back to the Nazis, the Rothschilds.
Yeah.
Ladies, your freedoms to be able to try to seek equality amongst men was a movement taken advantage of by the Rothschilds, so you would get off your ass, get a job so you can be taxed. The degradation, the total degrading of the family unit. So everyone, yeah, there may be a family in a household, but dad's eating at dinner one time, mom's eating dinner at another time, kids are eating dinner at a separate time and already in bed. There's no actual interaction. There's no unit to where people would actually come together in times of crisis. This has all been brewing since at least the 1940s. Yeah, actually, it's been brewing longer than that, but since the 1940s, roughly around the time of the Second World War, that's when it started hitting in mass, right as Nazis, who are starting to be integrated into world governments as part of similar projects to Project Paperclip.
Yeah. As the old saying goes, the Nazis never really lost the war.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these, where was it? Where's that place? Where's that? Is the economics forum? This thing that the day, what is it? With the Klaus Schwab and all that. Where was that held? Was it Geneva?
Switzerland, yeah.
Switzerland. Did you see that? It didn't last long before our amazing police force in YouTube took it down. You know what I'm talking about. But there was actually a woman doing a speech, and below it there was the swastika. But I know that means a lot of different things. I know it means the swastika in different ways means peace symbol. It's the Buddhist symbol and stuff like that, right?
Fortune.
Yeah, but look at Klaus Schwab, man. He's been corrupt in the head, man. Honestly, it really takes. I really get annoyed with this. I really do. To think that all those people that our grandfathers and grandmothers and stuff that fought these tyranny, right, is that man. That went funny there. Strange that, isn't it? But anyway, that fought this have died for basically what's going on right now. And I'll tell you something now, I'm absolutely sickened the way the world's turned out. The younger generation is fucking terrible. And you came up and talking about, look, I've got nothing against men with men, women with women, right? But when it starts taking it, doing the course it's in right now, if what they're doing in schools and what they're doing in public bathrooms and stuff like that, I just don't know.
How many people are actually stepping away from those movements because they are already realized that it is no longer about achieving equal treatment. It's a power play to try to make your so-called oppressors feel the same way. In fact, there's probably going to be a lot of people trying to call me a misogynist, but let's go to something a little bit more recent, the Me Too movement. Now, by all means, for God's sakes, it's about damn time these ladies started standing up for themselves instead of just keeping everything hush-hush about what's been going on. I fully support it. But do you realize how much of a spike in falsified reports have emerged?
No,
because of certain individuals taking advantage of these reports.
Oh, I know.
Completely lying through their teeth. Yeah. And the whole social stigma about it. People not even hearing the fact that these people were found completely innocent and patronizing them to the point they take their own lives.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I watched a thing tonight. It's strange you were talking about this. Actually, I was watching a thing tonight, and these women were protesting against transvestites. Right, they were protesting because this is what they were protesting against. So one of them was an Olympic swimmer, right? And she went to swim at a local. It was a big event today in her state or something like that, right? And she went to swim it, and she was beaten by a man, but it was an all-women swimmers competition. You should see this guy. He's tall. He's the same height as you. He's tall as anything.
I know the situation you're talking about, but here's the thing. The situation was actually a tie, but because the other individual was trans, that's what they went for. I mean, for fuck's sake, man. Did you hear about a 14-year-old kid? It was like 12-year-old kid, not even in high school yet. He's at a Pokemon tournament that's being streamed, officially sponsored by Nintendo.
Yeah, I think I've heard about this.
He's nervous about being on camera, realizing the millions of people watching. They ask him about his pronouns. He starts laughing. And you can tell it's kind of a nervous laughter.
Yeah. Not
even 15 minutes goes by into this card game. They completely shut it down and he's banned.
Yeah.
He's a fucking kid.
I know. There was a protest the other day there, and I think it was in Canada to be exact. Sure, I think it was Canada, and it was all these women, and they were women. For birth, they were women. And they were protesting against bathroom use by transgenders, right? And the transgenders brutally attacked. I don't know if you've seen that, brutally beat them up. The men beat the women up, real women up, right? And who did the police arrest?
The women.
The women. Even though on camera, the men did it.
Same thing with that swimmer.
It's not the
one who's been raped. Well, yeah. Here's also another thing. Do you realize that anybody who wants to undergo hormonal treatments has to take a psychiatric evaluation?
Yeah.
Because of the effects that those drugs have?
Oh yeah.
They have to make sure they can handle the mental load. There's individuals around me. I'm shocked that they even went that far. Who went for the full transition off themselves, threatened their families.
Yep. I will say what's happening in the US. I heard that some states have actually made it illegal for like children under a certain age to be maids because their mother and fathers were making them become a woman. There was that. What's actually happening there?
Some states are trying to step in because they realize the parents are trying to. Here's the thing. A number of childhood psychologists have realized a majority of these children trying to say they want to be a girl, there is essentially a level of grooming that's taking place. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing to honestly ask. It's a legitimate question. Any young boy who's saying they want to be a girl, you need to examine their home life real quick. Because what are the chances that these young boys are in households where they feel that, say, like their sisters are being favored over them?
Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong. What I'm going to say here, if a boy wants to be a girl, right, fair dues. If a lassie wants to be a man, fair dues. If a man wants to go with a man, fair dues. If a woman wants to go with a man, fair dues. It's this movement we're going on about, guys, and that's what I'm about to clarify to you. It's the movement that's going on about the new that's attacking women for being women. Right? That guy that does the Bud Light advert, right? What's his name? What is his name? Well, he's actually a woman. I better watch what I'm saying.
Dylan something, I don't know.
Right. Did you hear his latest? Right. She says that she's a woman, right? So I'm going to do this properly.
And that her girlfriend is the one to get her pregnant.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Did you hear else what he said? He says, wait for this. He says he likes women. He says he's a lesbian, right? He's a lesbian.
Nah.
He prefers women. Am I missing fucking something here, by the way? Because he's a man, he likes going out with a woman.
Honestly, I didn't even
Wait, she's a
know
woman?
who the hell this Dylan Mulvaney was until this
man.
whole Bud Light shit started. To be
That's funny.
completely honest, I had no clue.
You go to admit it's
Then
funny what's happened with Bud Light.
it's getting kind of annoying how much certain conservative channels are completely obsessed with him. It's like, okay, you're only giving him more numbers. That's all you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just,
but
his whole thing, you realize how his whole thing about transitioning into a woman got started, right?
No, actually, I don't actually know that much about him because I can't start him. I think he's a prick, but that's just my opinion.
Well, yeah, he was dressing up as a woman for TikTok videos to make fun of emotional mood swings. Yeah. Exactly.
Did you see that? Did you see the thing that was taken off the air? It was he was sitting amongst all these people, and it was a morning show in America, and there was a guy sitting. Did you see it? And she's going, "Oh, I can't wait to have a child. I'm ready." It was going on about. She was going on about having a child. Naturally, I can't wait to have a child. Naturally, and the guy went, "As you fucking take the piss, you're a man."
All right, I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna say this. Where's it coming out?
What?
Where's the kid gonna come out?
What do you mean?
Where's the kid gonna come out?
That's a good point. Through his left nostril.
I was like, for fuck's sake, Chris, that's just not a hard question to ask. I was like, it's basic high school.
You're breaking up. He's breaking up, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot hear him.
Oh,
see,
well,
the conversation.
Shut up.
You're breaking up. Look. Who's that in the chat there? Who's that? Nick KP74.
Is this I don't know. That's a new one. Hello. The kids AJ is called about hormone monsters. Yeah, Big Mouth. Yeah. I've heard of it, never seen it myself.
Look, it's getting ridiculous now, right? It is getting bad now because I ken somebody that's in the United States. I'm not going to say their name. I'm not saying their name. And their kid came home for school before. I think it's, what do you call it? It's kids are out now in school.
Yeah, most are. Yeah.
It was about a month ago, and he was telling us that his kid came home from school. I think it's what do you call that in America? It's like primary school here. No,
elementary.
The very first school you go to.
Elementary, dear Watson.
Right. Elementary, dear Watson. Very good, Sherlock. Get behind me.
Like, anyway, he's saying I'm breaking up for him, so I had to say something for him to get it through his head.
Every now and again, you break up off for me for some weird reason, right?
I was about to say, ladies and gents, are we coming through for you?
She's first. The wee boy was, or the wee lassie, I'm sorry, was first. This is her first year, right? And she came home and she says, "Dad," they were sitting talking to her father and her mother. She says, "Daddy, there was a man came to the school today." And he went, "Okay, what was that?" "Oh, he was dressed as a woman, and he was showing us how to have with another man. He was showing us pictures how to do it with a man and a man, not with a woman and woman. It was just how to do it with a man and a man."
Yeah.
His father lost the plot, phoned the school board or whatever, and talking about changing schools and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that's indecent exposure. That's
no. Seemingly it was allowed. Seemingly it was allowed. It's allowed. It's allowed. It was allowed in the school.
No, it's like no, that's child pornography.
That's what it is. Right, exactly. It's fucking disgusting.
That's child pornography. That's essentially grooming these kids.
Right. Look what happened. But look what happened with that. What was it? The American was it governor? He seen the video of this happen and he demanded the teacher was fired.
Yeah, Texas.
Aye,
Texas.
he
It wasn't
demanded.
it wasn't a teacher. He looked at all. There was this in fucking Texas of all places. You wouldn't
I
expect.
know.
But yeah, all these teachers were trying to say,
Exactly,
oh,
son of the
they
naked
were
Bigfoot.
talking about, oh, Matt. They're calling them maps and not pedos, and kids were getting in
Aye,
trouble for saying the word pedophile and all
aye.
this. And finally, the dude said, I talked with our judges. You are to either immediately hand in your resignation or you will be arrested.
Aye, exactly. It's absolutely fucking sickening that our world is turning into this. And it's true what Son of the Naked Bigfoot says. It is. It's child abuse. It is child abuse. And it needs to stop. But see, because I've said this, I'm now a hater against that community. Even though I agree with gay people and I agree with lesbians and stuff like that, right? I agree with them, right? I'm now a hater against that. It's anybody that disagrees with anybody. They say that Donald Trump's one of the biggest racists in the world. No, I watched a thing with Donald Trump tonight, right? And African Americans coming up to him, and one of his sons was joining the US military, and he was so happy to meet Donald Trump, and he was getting his signature. He was getting a baseball ball signed by Donald Trump. And he says, I'm going to be joining the US Army. And Trump's like, he says, oh, well, when I'm back as president, we'll need to meet you up again and stuff like that. You go and get them and stuff like that. Look, I think when he comes back in power, and people know that I'm a Trump supporter, when he comes back in power, I think things will change. I think the war in Europe will end. And I think all the shit that's happening in the US to do and ruin the world with this fucking man.
It's pretty much unanimous that
he's got to get
on all sides that if Trump was still in power, Putin would not have followed through with this invasion of Ukraine because he was too much of a motherfucking wild card.
Yeah, the two of them are pals. That's what a lot of people don't realise. If you watch, this is an interesting fact about Donald Trump. It's really interesting. If you watch President Obama, right, or President Joe Biden meeting Putin, they go up to each other, look at each other, and maybe a wee quick shake of the hand, and then they walk away. When President Trump met Mr. Putin, he was like giving him a cuddle and shaking his hand and all that, and thought he was a great guy. The two of them were laughing and joking. I pray to God, I wish to God somebody would put him in power, back in power right now, because it would save the world. It probably would save the world.
I mean, for fuck's sake, Trump was the one that got North and South Korean officials to start talking again.
I knew it's all going to pot again. He started firing his rockets again because of that Egypt you've got in bloody, what do you call it? The White House. He's probably wondering about the Oval Office to do, looking for his underwear pants.
God knows. Everybody's trying to say disaster averted by him signing a bill to raise the debt ceiling. That debt's still there. He's just delaying the inevitable. Chris, hello?
What?
You froze there for a sec.
I heard a weird noise. I heard like a click. No,
you full on like froze. Like I lost you there.
That's strange.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're talking about Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump's an awesome guy. I like to wear his hat now and again just to piss folk off. It's a hobby.
Yep, we've been officially flagged.
No, it's look, we'll never get monetized. So if anybody wants to donate to Building Bunkers, please click on one of the links, because we're no monetized, guys, because we actually talk the truth. You don't need to send much, like $1 or $2 or something. We can to run the company, you know. But it's we talk the truth on this channel, and that's why we're, well, what's the word? Ghosted by everybody and stuff like that, you know. You got to love it. See how folks react to Donald Trump hats, man. It's fucking brilliant. I am a proud owner. I've got a couple of Donald Trump hats.
I mean, look at the kids. The story is still coming out about people that are just wearing a random red hat.
I know.
Just a red hat. Nothing to do with MAGA. Who are getting attacked in the street.
I walked into a shop. I'll not say the name of the shop because it's in my place. And I had it on, and she's, oh, why have you got his hat on? I'm like, whose hat? Donald Trump is a rapist. And I says, how is he a rapist? He says, that model, he raped her. And I says, that's a load of absolute shit. He did not rape her. And this is the mainstream media. They're believing all this shit in the mainstream media.
No, it was like, by all accounts, Stormy Daniels, that was, even she's saying, that's not what I said.
I know. And I'm like, I just didn't talk to them for a good couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Going on at me saying, how can you support him? He's a creep. He's got to take us into nuclear war.
Have you seen the issues coming out about Hunter Biden?
I actually brought that subject up in the store. I says, well, what about Hunter Biden? Well, he didn't mean it. And I says, what do you mean he didn't mean it? He says he had a laptop for child porn and stuff like that.
Not just child porn, him doing drugs, him with prostitutes.
Yeah. And they're like that to me. Oh well, it can be forgiven. And this is
if it was just
sheep.
adults.
Honestly, this is the brainwashed sheep of people today. 99% of people in this world are fucking idiots, right? There's people out there that are absolutely amazing. The people that follow the Bald and Bonkers are absolutely amazing. There's people everybody in the chat are absolutely amazing. But why is it in society today there is so many idiots? Why?
Because idiots breed quicker?
No, that's true. I mean, how long before he gets voted back in? Is it next year? God, I wish that.
Yeah, next year's when the elections start running again.
I notice we've lost a few. You notice we've got people that watches but don't ever comment. Wonder who they are.
Yeah, everybody gets their lurkers, man.
Lurkers, everybody's got. We've just lost another year.
Everybody gets their lurkers. I wouldn't count that as anything.
I would just like to say, by the way, welcome Sonny the Naked Bigfoot, welcome Pete into the room and stuff like that. It's good to see you. Yeah. Need to get you on the show one night, man. We can come in and talk about Donald Trump if you want. I know you like to.
Yeah. That'll definitely. Well, it's a good thing now that Bald and Bonkers is backed up on Bumble as well as now on Odyssey as well as all of our other platforms. So if any of our episodes suddenly disappear, we have plenty of backups. We have backups of the backups.
If the Bald and Bonkers channel disappears, we've got backups and backups and backups. You know what I mean? Look, see, this is what I said to somebody the other day. This is, I don't want to go down in history as somebody that's stuck with the programme. Get my drift? I'm no like a supporter of what's going on. I want when people look this back in many years to come, think, holy shit, who are these two guys? One's in black and white and the other one's absolutely raving mad. But honestly, I
got Sin City vibes going here.
You did. That's a good movie by that, both of them. But anyway, look, I don't want to be seen as one of these folk that's standing for the regime that we've got in, and I call them the regime. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about. I mean, I could go really deep into this and on all the craziness that's happening with free speech and stuff like that. But that's actually a story for another time, as Mike would say. And would you call it? We should do a show on freedom of speech.
Oh dear Lord!
You know, look, they picked me to be your humble host. Don't you want to, when you finally meet your maker and he says, "Did you like that guy that we sent to you?" You can punch him square in the face.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean,
the only reason we stuck around is because for some reason we just work.
And a lot of people in this world will think, at the start of the show and all that, they go and they shout at each other and call each other names and that, because folk have actually messaged me, you get that? Oh, why do you let Dakota picking you so much? Look, it's no picking on, it's the way we are, it's the way we work together, right? I call him a dick all the time, because he's a dick.
He does.
He calls me a dick. That's the way it is. Do you know, and this is on my, see the other channel that I did the ghost hunting on, I'll not name it now, but anyway, do you know what somebody messaged me last week and said to me? You know how I was
What's
doing
that?
the graveyard? You know how I went to the graveyard with Drew's Abandoned Paranormal? Somebody actually sent me a message, says, listen, I don't want to say this, but see the next time you go somewhere, could you please stop the birds from tweeping?
What?
Did you not see it? I removed it for the chat.
What?
Nah, they says to me,
What?
please, can you try and stop the birds from tweeping? They're tweeping too much.
God. Oh, God. Oh, I'm having an aneurysm. Oh, okay. It's one thing if you actually knew how to do, like, sophisticated editing and you added birds, just for like atmospheric effect.
No, I couldn't.
You know what I mean?
Fucking,
well, exactly. I was like,
away.
I was out, walking my cat earlier, and I was trying to film the sky because I thought I saw something poking in between the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, the birds were all relaxing. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice right now. Just sitting here, beautiful day.
Oh, I get them all the
UFOs.
time. I get stupid messages all the time on my channel. I get one the other night that says your camera works okay, but the BBC does a lot better. And I put, well, the BBC's got a budget of like, what is it, 500 million every year or something like that, and I've got a budget of like 20 pence a year or something like that. Can't I mean, what do they expect me to do? Can't I mean, oh, there's a bit of shake there. There's a bit of shake there. I've seen better on the TV.
Well, okay.
I could
How
buy
about
one
this?
today.
How about this? It's like donate to buy the Baldwin Bunkers or Ghost Squad Scotland. It's all integrated. It's all integrated in some manner. So that way he can afford one of those handheld rigs that he can attach his cell phone to eliminate that shake as much as possible.
Oh, I get. You should see some of the stupid messages I get. I went to a graveyard. It was last year I got one, and this was the best one. I went to a graveyard, right? No, cemetery actually, because I didn't have a cemetery. But never mind that. It's a story for another time. But anyway, when somebody messaged me and says, listen, I know this is annoying, but could you read me every single gravestone in the graveyard? And I went, there's 900 people buried here. You realise how long that would take?
We had somebody who came with one of our subscription booms who commented, it's like, oh, I'm kind of lost. Can you make a summary video of all the stuff you guys talked about so far? Do you realize how much we jump around? It's like that's why I made that little video saying there's no, continuity that you have to watch the shows in order to understand things.
People are idiots, right? I'm lucky. I've managed to find quite a lot of nice, good subscribers, right? A lot of really good subscribers.
Speaking of idiots, I'm surprised I haven't seen him tonight. But your brother,
he's playing GTA 5 with Muzzy.
Oh, is he actually? But no.
Mm-hmm.
I know he gets bothered because any dates that are posted on the shows are in the American format. But I put the dates in the shows when they were recorded so people could tell if they actually bothered to read.
I know.
If it's pre-recorded or live.
I know. Did you see me comment back to him? And put him
I saw that, but I didn't see any reactions out of him, so that's why I just had to say it.
He messaged me on Facebook afterwards, and I had to message him back. Yes. Are you on tonight? Again, he asked me, is this live or is it on tonight? It's a bit slow,
I was about to say, I was thinking you were the dumb one.
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we work so good together, because after the show, you'll see me physically strangle him.
Oh, that's impressive, considering we're over 8,000 miles from each other.
I'm going to use my spiritual gifts tonight. Oh, Galactic Federation of Light. Let me join and go into his room while he sleeps and strangle him. See what's going to happen now. I'm worried that so if somebody actually comes into your room and strangles you through the night, the police will think it was me because I've said that.
Again, you're over 8,000 miles from me.
Right.
They'd be pretty fucking impressed.
I know. But see, there you go. Drew's abandoned paranormal vlog.
See?
I got a hat, by the way. Do you want to see my hat? My new hat.
I thought you said heart there for a second.
Do you want to see my hat? No, I got a hat to stop my ears. You should see my ears, by the way. They're luminous red for the sun. What do you think? I kind of get it on, but I think that'll do. What do you think?
You should have worn it like that throughout the show.
You've just went and joined the Madness Network. Thank you for subscribing. We're all mad here. That kind of thing, yeah. Well, yeah,
welcome to Bald and Bonkers. Don't worry, you get to keep your hair.
I think it looks awesome. What do you think in the chat, guys? Is Pete there? Does Pete Mike the Naked Bigfoot son in the chat? What do you think, Pete?
Oh,
I think it's me. I could be Mark.
Drew, Chris would not last in Australia.
You going to Australia? There you go. Aye, there. Oh, that's like an Irish accent. And what happened to Marlon to there? That's not really Australia. That.
You ain't going to be surviving in the outback, mate.
Well, how did you do that? I can't do that. How did you do that?
If I'm around Australian people for too long, it'll slip by itself, and I look like I'm an ass.
When have you been around Australian people? See, people are jealous of this hat. I'm telling you, it's a new hang. It's a new fashion. I'm starting. It's a new fashion. Look, it's anti-earthquake. All that, you know.
No, yeah, Drew. Next thing you know, that Chris could be screaming from the toilet because a python reached out from the toilet seat and bit him right on the arse.
That's nice. You got a bit of Irish in that there.
I know, right at the arse. Yeah.
To see that done over there. Drew's abandoned paranormal. Aye, she was running about the graveyard last night. She was, and she got bit by a midgie. Oh, the midges were biting again. In North Dakota, they're not little people.
I've never actually heard people call them midges.
Well,
I'm not the only one who had to ask. I'm not the only one who had to ask.
Everybody in their lifetime in Scotland gets bitten by a midget.
Look, yeah. I'm shocked I didn't get bit while I was over there, to be honest.
Yeah,
but then again,
looking for the midges.
No, I was looking for the Nessie.
See, I think that's something totally different. I think that's like a taupe or something. Everybody wants to see him.
Eel. It's an eel.
It's a big eel. You know. There's a lot. Bishop Brian said he wants to go and see Nessie.
Hey, I don't blame him. If you get the opportunity to go.
Well, I was going to send Drew's abandoned paranormal vlog out to be rowing boat with a GoPro structure.
You're gonna send her with a dinghy.
A wee dinghy, aye, the wee dinghy. This is just erupting into sheer fucking madness now.
But that is why we are Bald and Bonkers.
Exactly. So, what's on this week, Dakota? I've got no shows this week except for Friday night, which I don't know what I'm doing yet. No. I'm doing some lives on my other channel through the day. So, what are you doing? Playing any Pokemon?
Well, hey, don't judge me about Pokemon.
You're playing Pokemon. What are you playing that for? It's a pile of pish. I watched about 10 minutes of you playing it last night. It was, oh, hello, I'm elitist. I'm this and I'm that, collecting this. It was, you jump about. There was like squares and stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck is this he's watching?
Fuck you. On behalf of the millennials, fuck you.
I'm playing GTA, a man's game, where I can run on endless bots.
Yeah, I got bored with GTA, wanted to get a Nintendo Switch, which is actually considered good for like reflex. But anyway, no, actually this week, I don't know if it's going to be live, but this Tuesday I'm going to be a guest on the Typical Skeptic podcast. How's it going? Apparently he's a fan. Elena apparently recommended me, so.
Hello.
Yeah,
I think he gets jealous that I get more attention from her.
Nah, it's all right. I got all the I've got all the witches and Wiccans and stuff like that following me about my Ghost Squad channel. It's absolutely fine, you know. It's fine. But look, I
had a joke just pop in my head, but I don't want to say
I
it.
do more the ghosty stuff, ladies and gentlemen, and he does more of the alien stuff. I'm into ghosts. He's into probes. You know, he's always going to win.
He's into necrophilia.
You should see the
I'm in
collection of probes. He's got
xenophilia.
his big silver ones with flashes that come out the end of them. It's a story for that.
You're the one that keeps fucking asking for him.
Yeah, I think they get fed up with me. I was annoying them, you know.
At least with the probes, you don't have to deal with splinters between your legs.
You better watch some of my Wiccan witches in the chat. Might put you in a jar.
Oh, didn't they already? Didn't they put both of us in a jar at one point? Come on, I was there for that interview. Come on,
it's about a big jar.
Then let's see. Yeah, that's Tuesday. I got that podcast interview tomorrow. I have a business meeting that's going to be right before I go to my regular job, but hopefully it'll be worth it because I will be dealing with one of our business partners, none other than William Shatner, for a movie that Bald and Bonkers is actually part of.
Yes. What is it? Is it an 18 rated one, or is it like a 24-year rated? I've just noticed something. Why is my nose so red? You noticed that?
You know, they say. Well, it's a little early for Christmas, don't you think? There, Rudolph.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer has a very
shiny nose.
I wasn't going to
and
say
if
that.
You ever saw it, the hunter would like to know.
We've went bad. Dakota's going to be seeing William Shatner. William Shatner's a great singer, by the way. See if you do meet him, tell him that I think he's a brilliant singer.
Yeah, it's over a Zoom call tomorrow, and it's basically to go over the logistics about getting his new movie out called You Can Call Me Bill. It's a documentary about his career. Something that he's want to do because he's starting to realize that he doesn't have much longer on this earth, so he wanted to do something special.
Tell him Scotty wants to interview him.
Trust me, I've been trying, but I can't get it past his people.
Tell me, Captain, we're all gonna die. We're doomed.
Because think about it. I think an interview with William Shatner would be awesome. He loves doing those unexplained mystery shows. So I think that would be an awesome show to have.
What's that, Dobby? Sorry, I had trouble brewing on the street. Tried to call the cops, but not answering. Typical police force. They're probably all sitting eating donuts and drinking tea and coffee and harassing someone.
Dobby, yeah. Hopefully, hope you do all right. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but it is the summer. And please, for the love of God, people, stay off your phones while driving.
I know. I
scared the shit out of a kid because I had to blare my horn because they were coming close and clipping me while I was driving.
Yeah,
I saw they were on their phone. I went, they will damn near threw it out their window.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you on Friday. We've actually got an interesting case we're going to talk about. I'll set it up through the week. So.
Maybe. And I got quite a few leads out on several different guests, so we'll see what happens next weekend. Because, well, who wants to start some bingo cards?
Yeah, a question. If you want to support Bald and Bonkers, please send it through PayPal for Bald and Bonkers, because we're not monetized, because we talk the truth, like other channels on YouTube that talk absolute utter shite and stick up for basically the folk that are idiots.
Yeah, of course. We have merch, we have donations links. If you want to publish a book through us, and by the way, I think October finally sent in a manuscript.
Did you send one in? So there you go. I might have somebody else with you too.
All right, don't overload me, man.
It's only like 5 million pages or something like that.
What is it?
What is it? Your style of writing? My God.
My
5 million pages, only 2 sentences, and he expects me to make a book out of that? Come on!
I've got one. I was born. I died. The end.
I think you need to utilize ChatGPT to write your books more. At least there'll be content.
I don't know. I was going to put some of my subscribers.
It's free, man. It's free, man.
Name these other, because of legal reasons. I've had to name these other names. So
that means he's talked shit about you.
Yes. So would I do that? Wait, oh, that's a good.
Yes.
I could do that to people that I don't like. Couldn't I? I never thought about that. I could say there was this big baldy arsehole that used to annoy me. I'll have to put that one
in. We should probably end the show here. Otherwise, we're just rambling at this point. Rambling. Have a good week, ladies and gentlemen. And if the skies let you, look up, because you never know what you're going to see these days. Was that a whale call?
Yes, exactly.
Thanks for tuning into the Bald and Bonkers Show. If you enjoyed the show and want to show your support, head over to our website at baldandbonkers.net. There, you'll find our merch, services, and more. Thanks for being part of the Bald and Bonkers family, and we'll see you on the next episode. And remember, always keep an open mind and an open heart. You never know what may happen tomorrow.